All righty then. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Greater Philadelphia Cultural Alliance membership information session. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Roberta Johnson. I am the Vice President of Programming at the Cultural Alliance. I'm joined today by my fellow colleagues, Lauren Gilmore, who is our Director of Member Engagement, Francis Ellison, who is our Marketing Manager, Chad Beagle, who is our Senior Manager of Creative Youth Development, and Cabria Rogers, who's our Grant and Program Senior Manager. You will hear from them all today as we discuss the various benefits and programs. As we get started, please take a moment to add your name, your preferred pronouns, and organizations in the chat. Also, feel free to let us know why you have attended this information session today and what you hope to get out of it. And as we said at the top, this session will be recorded. So I would like to take a moment to center ourselves in this space and time. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. One way we strive towards this effort is by acknowledging that we are on the traditional lands of the Lenape people, and we pay our respects to elders both past and present. We want to keep this session as interactive as possible, so we encourage you to ask questions throughout. So please use the chat for those questions. We'll make momentary stops to check the chat, so that way it's more of a back and forth interactive conversation. We will have a formal Q&A session at the end of the presentation, but today you will learn more about the Cultural Alliance and its current member benefits that we offer. So let's get started. The Cultural Alliance was founded in 1972 as a convener of cultural organization for the bicentennial of 1976. It then evolved into being a membership organization focusing on services that enhance arts and cultural organizations and provide advocacy to the sector to improve the vitality and promote growth. As we are all gearing up for 2026, I'm sure that we at the Cultural Alliance will also be convening and bringing resources and programs for that celebration. When you think of the Cultural Alliance, the first couple things that come to mind are our advocacy efforts and our research. As a member, you are privy to being a part of our research that is conducted by us, gain exclusive access to the latest research conducted by the creative industry at large, and provide a space to leverage research for specific needs. In addition, a large part of our advocacy efforts is leveraging our research to civic and government leaders and the philanthropic community, influencing policy and funding practices. Our latest research on the impact of COVID-19 pandemic crisis has continued to provide evidence of the continual need for aid for the creative industry. This research has been integral in the city's recent release of additional funds to the creative industry at large. So we're very grateful that our work has influenced that. So just yesterday, some of you might have actually attended our webinar, which continued kind of the expansion of this COVID-19 research, where we delved deeper into some of the results and findings of the focus groups that we held in the fall. Those focus groups explored fundraising challenges, partnership opportunities, and unique challenges for BIPOC or ALANA serving organizations. We also hope to continue to build upon these findings by creating direct programs and services. I know one of the things that was top of mind, especially from that webinar yesterday, and also just in general, is that audiences. Everyone is really, really concerned and focused on audiences as they are slowly returning and re-engaging. We're currently conducting audience surveys at events as a part of a larger research project that is led by the Americans for the Arts. It's also known as Prosperity. Many of you are probably aware of our previous economic prosperity reports that are used to make the case for more funding, as well as highlight our collective impact. So please let us know if you would like to be an organization that hosted some of these surveyors. We can get you in contact with our Director of Research and Data. You may have already heard the exciting news that the Greater Philadelphia Cultural Alliance was selected as one of 52 news, media, and community organizations, and basically are the only arts and cultural organization to partner with the Linfest Institute of Journalism for their Every Voice, Every Vote project to aid in coverage of and engagement in the Philadelphia 2023 elections. During our mayoral forum, which will be hosted on Thursday, March 30th at Taller Portocarrero, the Cultural Alliance will expand upon our efforts to ensure that the voices of the arts and culture voters are heard. In addition, the Alliance and its community partners will develop and publish a PHL Arts Voter Guides in both English and Spanish to support city voters during this crucial election cycle. We'll drop a link in the chat so you can learn more about the Every Voice, Every Vote initiative. But registrations will be announced at a later date. But for now, you can learn more as I drop this link shortly in the chat, and how you can participate in this upcoming project. Lastly, as a member, you are able to connect with researchers in our area and across the nation through our Cultural Data Network, which meets quarterly. This is hosted in partnership with SMU Data Arts. And for any questions about our research, our advocacy efforts, anything that I have kind of talked through about our advocacy and research, you can contact Kristen Venn, who is our Director of Research and Data. And again, we'll drop her email in the chat as well. Before we move on, is there any questions in the chat? Let's see here.
No question at this time, Roberta. I know the chat was on mute.
Okay. So with no questions, which means I did a great job, yay. I'm going to turn it over to Lauren, who's going to give an overview of kind of our cost saving benefits and explore some of the lesser known member benefits. So Lauren, take it away.
Thanks, Roberta. And if you do come up with questions, as you go, feel free to drop them in the chat, and we'll address them when we get to it, either at the end or we'll kind of splice it in. So to start, I wanted to provide context about some of our services. By leveraging the collective purchasing power of our members, the Cultural Alliance has been able to negotiate an array of cost savings benefits. These discounted services are exclusively from companies with whom we've worked and can vouch for, often local companies that understand our unique regional landscape. Essentially, our goal is to offer services and programs to help you thrive and save money while doing it. On the left of the screen, you can see the areas that our programs and services cover. Any questions on this so far? I'll be talking for a while too, so if you come up with questions for me as we go, I will have plenty of time to address them. Not seeing any just yet, although I'll take another look in a little bit here. I'll move on for now to talk about some of our hiring and workforce resources. So I'll bet the job bank is our most recognized benefit. How many, by showing in the chat or emoji reactions, how many of you have posted or found a job on the job bank? Yeah. It's like me, both, yes. So as most of you know, the Job Bank is our region's resource of job opportunities in the arts and culture industry, where you can post or find creative and administrative jobs at all professional levels, and the most trafficked page of our website by far. Members can post unlimited jobs, internships, and volunteer opportunities for free. Some of these other benefits may be less familiar. One of the relationships we've brokered is with Gallagher Benefits. They give our members access to cost savings for health benefits through Blue Cross Blue Shield. To qualify for one of their plans, you only need to have 2 full-time equivalent employees or more. If you have any questions about that program specifically, I would be happy to connect you with our brokers over there. Another tool is career.place. It's a newer relationship we've brokered, and it's the first candidate evaluation tool to keep candidates anonymous, promoting diversity, compliance, and efficiency in hiring. Candidates are evaluated solely on job criteria in a fair and consistent manner, and only qualified candidates are revealed. Cultural Alliance members receive 20% off their services. Cultural Alliance member organizations, staff, and their immediate family members are also eligible for significant tuition savings towards select Drexel University degrees and certificates earned online. You can see the eligible programs and discounts on this slide. And I personally am a little bit jealous that I did not know this before, or that I didn't see this before I got my master's. Like, some great programs in there. And finally, cultural accessibility training, which is run by Artreach's expert staff, empowers institutions to be more accessible and inviting to people with disabilities. You can receive $100 off a training session for your employees, volunteers, and stakeholders. So that was a bit. Any questions about that so far? Susan, I'm sorry.
Laura,
Oh, sorry. Did we jinx each other?
yeah, we sure did.
Okay.
Zoom jinx.
I was just going to say, Susan, I'm sorry to hear that. I know that sometimes their turnover there is a little bit on the higher end. So sometimes a contact we have, if they're like just a smaller account manager, moves on. But I recently got in touch with like the head of all the account managers, and she's been really responsive. So if you, I'll put my email in the chat. I'm sure it'll be in there at several points, but if you reach out to me, I will connect you with her. So sorry about that. Okay. If anyone has any other questions about hiring and workforce benefits, please feel free to drop them in the chat while I share a little bit about an upcoming program we have. Next month, on Monday, February 27th, we are hosting a virtual panel discussion workshop to address rebuilding our workforce, creative industry trends and practices for hiring and retention, featuring a panel discussion with representatives from across the industry, including legal and HR professionals. This program will provide the opportunity to hear the latest developments and solutions for rebuilding our workforce. Participants will have the opportunity to pose questions to the panelists, as well as engage in a problem-solving exercise and leave the program with some tactical takeaways. So that's coming up next month. Since I don't see any other questions in the chat, I'll go ahead and move on for now. So, connecting across the cultural industry. One of our main roles of the sector is to act as a convener, a cultural hub. This slide represents some of the ways that we bring folks from across the industry together. Our annual meeting is the best time to network with folks across the cultural sector. We held ours in early October this year, but we're looking to host it again, most likely in September of 2023. So stay tuned for save the dates from us. One of the things that I most admire about our members is your commitment to strengthening your own skills as well as your organizations. That's why we offer professional development programming like our Unconscious Bias series, marketing workshops, fundraising seminars, and relevant programming like our COVID Town Hall and anti-racism conversation for white arts administrators. My colleague Chad will actually be sharing more about the Bloomberg Arts Internship Program, so I won't spoil it by saying anything on that just yet. Another way to connect with our members is through our online member directory. You can browse through it alphabetically or use an interactive spreadsheet of members sortable by name, primary discipline, and location size, which you can find for you can use for finding peer organizations or organizations with whom you might like to partner and collaborate. And I'm sure many of you receive Culture Wire, our bi-monthly newsletter, in which we always feature a different member in our member spotlight section. If you don't receive it, just let us know. You can email me again using the email I dropped in the chat earlier, and we can get you subscribed. Any questions on that? I will feel free to keep entering questions for now. I'll just go on again and highlight some of our upcoming programming. As Roberta mentioned earlier, we're going to be hosting Mayoral Forum, which is one manifestation. I see your question, Emily, and I will answer it. All right. Which is one manifestation of the way that we bring the sectors together and to advocate for artists. And as Roberta said, we'll be sending out the date for that very soon. And yes, Emily, there are plans to continue the Unconscious Bias series and make it available again. Our plan is to launch it this spring, I'll say. Roberta, anything more specific than that, or leave it at that for now? We're excited.
We're excited about it. We're planning to launch it in, I would say, March, hopefully, but it will be coming this spring. It is going to be a slightly different format, but it's going to be kind of delving even further and deeper into kind of bias. So thank you for asking that. I'm glad that you enjoyed the series.
And no slide for this one. I'll just talk about it. Another program we're working on to support professional development for all arts and culture organizations across the region is a nonprofit sustainability workshop in partnership with Gail Bauer to provide an opportunity for arts and culture organizations in the creative industry to dig into their financial models to identify potential efficiencies and areas for growth. You may recognize Gail's name from her time at the Philadelphia Museum of Art or her consulting business, which you can check out. I'll share in the chat. This will be in partnership with our PNC Arts Alive programming, and we'll have more details to share on that in the coming weeks. All right, I'll share that link just a little bit later when I'm done talking at you. So next area is our peer networking groups. So these are some great examples of groups that we've formed and convenings that we've championed to create space for arts and culture professionals to seek input, swap suggestions, and connect with peers across the region's creative industry. One that I'd particularly like to highlight is the Arts Marketing Affinity Group, which is a collective of arts makers who discuss current marketing trends, audience research, data management, and the latest innovations in marketing via a dedicated Slack channel with access to previous Marketing Affinity Group video recordings and self-paced learning. Another great group is the Cultural Data Network, which Roberta mentioned earlier. It empowers arts and culture leaders to connect in conversation about high-quality, evidence-based resources and insights on overcoming challenges and increasing impact through their regular meetings and special research projects. Going back for a minute to our Arts Marketing Affinity Group. On Monday, January 23rd, we are holding a members-only event on best practices while building a media relationship. This special virtual marketing affinity group session will provide firsthand information on obtaining successful coverage in local media for member organizations. The program will start with a panel discussion, followed by Q&A, and end with a speed dating element for attendees to speak with each of the panelists. Panelists include Martin Alfaro, General Manager at Aldea, Danya Henninger, Director at Billy Penn, Elena Johns, Editor-in-Chief at Broad Street Review, Tracy Buchholz, Director of Public Relations at NRoute, Peter Crimmins, reporter at WHYY, and John Vatisse, digital content editor and producer at WXPN. If you're not already a member, let me know if you'd be interested in becoming one so that you can attend this event for free and future events at a discounted rate. My email was in the chat before, I'll share it again, but I've also included the link to register for this event in the chat. Any questions on our peer networking groups? Or any other questions that might have come up so far? Thanks, Kim. Yeah, we are very excited about it. We had a planning session with the panelists this week, and they've been really great. There is no limit to the number of groups you can join. All right, I'll keep an eye on the chat for any other questions coming in about peer networking groups. But in the meantime, we'll move on to the most exciting section, administrative savings. As I referenced earlier, we provide administrative savings through our member benefits because we know that every penny counts. We have a relationship with Media Copy for discounted printing. Office Basics is a local company specializing in office and cleaning supplies. They do price matching and free next day deliveries with no minimum order, which is really nice. And also, I know like we get to know our delivery guy, Marco. It's very sweet. Payroll Service Solutions offers a 10% discount on already competitively priced payroll processing for Cultural Alliance members. The firm is locally based and understands the needs of the nonprofit sector. They go far beyond payroll processing in their wide array of services to support you and your organization. Another branch of Gallagher Benefits, which we touched on earlier when discussing the healthcare benefits, is their risk management offerings. Through a comprehensive review of your current insurance, as well as competitive quotes, they will customize an insurance program, including coverage enhancement and premium discounts exclusive to our membership. Were there any questions on administrative savings or anything else I had mentioned? Because I will be passing the baton at this point. And if I don't catch your questions now, I will keep an eye out for them in the chat. And of course, you're also welcome to ask them again at the end of the program. All right, not seeing any questions. I'm going to drop the link to learn about Gail Bowers, who's running our nonprofit sustainability offering, and pass things back over to, let's see who's next, Francis. Yes, Francis Ellison, our marketing manager.
Hi, everybody. As Lauren said, I am Francis, our marketing manager here at GPCA, and this may be many of you all's first time physically seeing my face, but probably not the first time you've seen my name if you are at all familiar with the Philly Fun Guide, Fun Savers, and in some cases even Culture Wire. You have likely heard from me, and we'll hear from you very soon because we have our Valentine's Day promotion coming up soon. So I will jump all the way into that now. So I am the go-to guy here for our marketing benefits and resources. And one of the many things we do here at the Cultural Alliance for our members is kind of help provide marketing benefits, marketing solutions, marketing resources for our membership in a lot of different formats, sometimes through advertising, sometimes through administrative savings, like Lauren mentioned earlier, and sometimes through our specialized marketing conversations. So without further ado, let me break all of that down for you. Again, if you are most likely familiar with our Philly Fun Suite, that would be the Philly Fun Guide and our email newsletter, Fun Savers. The Philly Fun Guide, phillyfunguide.com, is the region's leading arts, culture, and entertainment calendar for the 5-county region. I think we are one of the only and one of the biggest to do what we do. And for those of you who aren't aware, using the Philly Fun Guide is completely free. It is one of the many things that we offer for free. And that's not actually even just limited to members. Anyone can use the Philly Fun Guide to list an event, to promote an event, just using our very simple submission form, and boom, bitty boom, it's there for our some say like 100,000+ viewers to our website. So you're going to get a lot of eyes for maybe what's going to be 5 minutes of your time to just fill out the submission form and get your event in front of people for free. So if you don't gain anything else from me today, as much as we would like it to be the money purchasing things, I definitely want to make sure that all of you guys are utilizing the Philly Fun Guide, please, because it is free, because it is so huge, and because we get a lot of eyes on it, and it is bar none one of the easiest ways to get yourself out there that we offer. Going into the rest of the Philly Fun Suite is our weekly email Fun Savers. It is an email newsletter that goes out to our email subscribers every Thursday morning. From our previous audience satisfaction surveys, most of our Fun Savers email subscribers, I do believe up to 75% of them have been members of the Fun Saver email for 5+ years. We have a very loyal, very dedicated audience, and it's growing every day. As of right now, we're about at 140,000+ subscribers, and we are just going up from there. Many things that we offer in Fun Savers to our members. The first one being our Fun Saver highlight. That is completely free. Shoot, I don't have a Fun Saver email to pull up. I'm gonna add that to my slide next time, Lauren. But our Fun Saver highlight, if you've never seen our Fun Saver email before, it is the beginning of the email. It is about 250 to 500 words about you, your organization. It could be an introduction to our audience. You could be promoting an upcoming event. The only thing that we ask is that you do not you solicit any fundraising efforts. We actually cannot do that. But other than that, the floor is yours for 250 to 500 words, and that goes in front of roughly 140,000 people every week. And all of our members are entitled to do that up to 3 times a year for free. We also offer our digital advertising options through Fun Savers, through the Philly Fun Guide, and actually a few other vehicles. For Fun Savers in particular, we have 2 different kinds of ad products. We have our standard ads, just a regular ad, and then we have our Fun Savers deal ads. Depending on how long some of you have been with us, you may remember the original iteration of Fun Savers. We were a discounted ticketing system, a third-party ticket retailer, and we offered discounted deals to many events in the city through our website and our email. Because of COVID, we have transitioned from that, but we did still want to make sure that we could offer something to our subscribers, particularly our super loyal subscribers, those who have been with us for years, and those who kind of have an expectation of something when they deal with us. And so our other ad product for Fun Savers is our Fun Savers deal ad. This replaces the idea of us third-party retailing discounted items for you guys, but instead allows you the freedom to do it on your own terms. It could be through a promo code, a discounted product, perhaps it's a percentage discount. The only requirement is that a Fun Savers deal ad has to offer something exclusive to our subscribers. However, it is a lower rate. So you're not going to be paying as much as you would typically for advertising, just so long as you offer something to our audience that they wouldn't be able to get any other way. Our other digital advertising platforms outside of the Fun Suite include our Job Bank, which you guys heard Lauren mention earlier, as well as Culture Wire. Through our Job Bank, we have both premium and standard ad listings. We get a lot of use from those from universities, colleges. You know, if you're already looking for a job, you might be looking to further your career, you know what I mean? So a lot of people use it for that reason. But once again, our Job Bank, as Lauren said earlier, the most heavily trafficked part of the Philoculture website. It is the best way to get eyes on what you're trying to put out there. And so we also have standard advertising and premium advertising for that, as well as Culture Wire. Culture Wire, we have standard ads and we have dedicated emails. A standard advertisement, pretty much the same thing. It is a static ad in the email itself. For Culture Wire and for Fun Savers, we also offer a more premium product called a dedicated email. And you're essentially buying out our email if you do that. It is all your content straight to our audience, very little input from us, aside from us letting people know that this is a sponsored email. But it is essentially our version of a sponsored email. And so, you know, there are many ways at many different price points to work with us, including $0. And to wrap all of that up, one thing we do offer is our specialized marketing conversations, where you could book 45 minutes with either me or Roberta, where we will explain this to you all over again in even more minute detail. And then you might leave with something more tangible to actually help you along in your marketing plan. So what we can do is we can do a consultation with you. That is also a member benefit. You don't have to pay anything additional for that. You can schedule that with either me or Roberta and honestly just get a second opinion. You know, come to us. We're here to help you. You can say, hey man, you know, we have this show coming up, but I don't really know where to begin. We have, like our administrative savings, we also have partnerships with friends and partner organizations such as the Broad Street Review, the Philadelphia Inquirer. There are many avenues outside of just us that we could help you. So essentially you spend 45 minutes with us and we could help you come up with a marketing plan. We can consult you on a marketing plan that you may already have. And we can offer you something tangible that would possibly, that would also maybe include a proposal for working with us a little bit more. But it is what you make out of it. It is 45 minutes and you can do with that what you want with me and Roberta, but I promise you, you will leave with something valuable. And so those are all of our marketing benefits and resources. My email, which I will put in the chat right now. So please forgive the sound of my nails. But my name again is Frances. And if you want any more information on any of the things I just mentioned, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. And I will be here for you. Also, keep an eye out for emails about our upcoming Valentine's Day promotion for Fun Savers, because I will be sending those. And I'm gonna pass it back.
Thanks, Frances. And then I think we've got.
May I answer Kim's question?
Oh, please. I didn't see it. Please do.
Yeah, how far in advance does one need to submit info before it's posted for the free Fun Saver highlights? This is a question, I'm glad you asked him. This is a question I get a lot. I always say first come, first serve. They tend to book up pretty quickly. So as soon as you know you have something you want to promote, I would say that is the time to come to us. And we will get you, we will try to schedule you the best that we can. I would say that is the Fun Saver highlights though, that is not something to hesitate on. As soon as you think you might want one, please reach out to me because they do kind of book up fast. Technically not specific as to how far in advance. However, as soon as you know you want to do it, I would say that is the time to reach out. I can also get you scheduled for your 3 throughout the year too. So, you know, you can come to me and we can just get you all done for the year. And then you don't even have to worry about it after that. So just reach out to me at any time and I will make sure to get you on that calendar.
Thanks, Frances. All right. Now I will pass it over to Chad.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chad Beagle, and I am the Senior Program Manager, Creative Youth Development at the Cultural Alliance. And I'm going to be talking to you about youth programming. One of the goals of the Creative Youth Department is to strengthen the patronage of arts and culture through the building of programming that's dedicated to the advancement of young people. So basically what we do is we work with our member organizations to build and manage programming that attracts youth to your organization, excuse me. So one of the main ways we do that is through our Bloomberg Arts Internship Program, which is an amazing program. If I do say so myself, I may be just a tad bit biased, but I'm sure once I talk to you a little bit about it, you will be just as excited about it as I am. So one of the main ways that we get youth involved is through, like I said, our Bloomberg Arts Internship Program. And what that is through a very generous grant given to us by Bloomberg Philanthropies, we are able to provide an intensive summer program where we are taking rising seniors, so they have to be juniors. We take them and we pair them with organizations such as yourself. And for 8 weeks during the summer, you will have an intern that will be able to come to your organization for about 21 hours a week. And they will work with you on certain projects that you have, and you're kind of giving them real world experience in working in arts and culture. The really cool thing about this program is that it is at no cost to you. We actually pay you to take interns. So every intern that you take, we will give you a stipend of $750. And then also during that process, the interns are getting paid as well. We're really happy to announce that the interns get paid $14.47 per hour, and they are working roughly about 35 hours a week during those 8 weeks. So it is a really great opportunity, not only for the interns, but also for your organization to give back to our younger generations and continue to build that patronage, not just for the arts, but for your organization as well. So a few quick things about the program. This summer, we are looking to have 70 interns. Last summer, we had 48, and we're looking to almost double that number this summer. So that means that we are looking for at least 20 to 30 member organizations that will say, hey, you know what, we want to take at least 2 interns this summer, because we would like to be able to give the interns an opportunity to have as many organizations to kind of choose from. There will be an interview process where the work sites will be meeting with the interns and we kind of interview each other. But we really want to make sure that we have as many organizations as possible. So there is a whole nother information session that we did on Bloomberg Arts Internship. And I believe Bria has put the link to the YouTube video in the chat along with the worksite application form as well. So there will be 2 things in the chat about now. Will be a link to the YouTube video from our Bloomberg Arts Internship 23 worksite information session. And there's also the link to the application, which should probably only take about 5-10 minutes at the most, for you to register your interest as to being a worksite. And if you have any other questions, I will put my email in the chat so that you can shoot me an email. I mean, we can definitely set up a time to have a conversation about Bloomberg Arts, and I can give you more information that may be a little bit more particular to your organization and what you're looking for. But like I said, I'm very biased. I think this is one of the greatest things that we do here at the Cultural Alliance. Again, that's just my opinion, but I am very, very biased. But outside of Bloomberg, like I said, I'm here to talk to you about building, maintaining, and managing other programs that your organization may be interested in doing that will bring youth into your organization and continue to help build patronage of the arts, so that as we go into the future, Philadelphia will have a really strong arts and culture organization and community.
One question for you in the chat, Chad. If you aren't a member and or an LLC, can you still host an intern?
If you are not a member, you can still host an intern. If you are not an LLC, that's a conversation that we can have offline, just because we do need to know the type of organization that you have for reporting purposes, and just to kind of get a better understanding of what you're offering, so that we know if we were to pair you with interns, we know what interns we are looking at and what kind of information we can give them based on your business. So that's definitely a conversation that we can have offline, just to make sure that we are getting the right information to you.
So a clarifying question. An LLC is okay versus a nonprofit.
Yes. Yes, like I said, we would have that conversation offline just to get more information about your organization and how the program could actually fit in making sure that the interns are getting the most from their experience. Any other questions before I turn it over? Don't worry, there will be a long test at the end where we will ask you about 100 questions from everything that you learned throughout this hour. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, Kim, thank you so much. The interns are very vital to organizations, and they are very hungry and ready to work. We've had a lot of great feedback from work sites, especially from the summer, where they said the interns came in and what they had planned, they actually had to plan more, because the interns kind of just like soaked it up and worked so hard and worked through everything so quickly that the organizations actually had to create more projects for the interns, because the interns were just churning them out so quickly. So the interns are very excited. Yes, Cambria said, seriously, become a work site. It is, I believe, one of the most fulfilling things that you may do as an arts and culture organization, being able to provide an opportunity for our youth to not only get paid, but really learn and earn invaluable real world work experience. It's definitely, we're trying to prepare them for their post-secondary readiness, either college or directly into the workforce after high school. And this is one of the ways we can definitely do that.
Great. Thanks, Chad. Looks like that's all we've got so far. But if you have any other questions for Chad, pop them into the chat later. And we're getting fairly close to the end of our session, so we'll address other questions at that time. But for now, I'm going to pass it to my colleague, Cabria.
Hello, everyone. And grants always comes after creative youth development. I'm just like, Wow, that is a rough act to follow. But we'll take a shot. My name is Sabrina Rogers. I am the Grants and Program Senior Manager here at the Cultural Alliance, which means I am the administrator for our grant making arm. Um, Arts and culture has the power to elevate lives, strengthen our communities, and fuel our creative economy. All around southeastern Pennsylvania, artists perform, inspire, and provide hands-on instructions at schools, libraries, hospitals, and community centers. And while these collaborative efforts between artists and community organizations are invaluable to our region, they're often underfunded. Grant making is not an exclusive member benefit, as much as it is a larger illustration of how the Cultural Alliance aims to serve the creative sector at large, including and beyond our membership. The Cultural Alliance has been a Pennsylvania partner on the arts since 2002. This partnership is in collaboration with Pennsylvania Council of the Arts, a state agency, words, and will continue to be the PPA partner for Region 6, so Greater Philadelphia, until 2025. Under that partnership, we manage two different grants. One is the relatively new Creative Entrepreneur Accelerator Grant, a program that provides creative entrepreneurs who aspire to start their own for-profit business or who operate an existing for-profit micro business with access to small business consulting services and financial resources. So this grant can allow them to make digital upgrades, technical upgrades, research and development, marketing, promotion. That's just to list a few. In the summer, PCA will be launching a brand new grant called the Creative Sector Flex Fund. Everyone's really excited about it because the Creative Sector Flex Fund is designed to address the changing needs of our dynamic PA arts organizations. As long as they have an annual revenue between 10,000 and 200,000, the uses of the grant are pretty flexible. It could be administrative, programmatic, or project-related expenses. And the Creative Sector Flex Fund was developed as a response to the pandemic and the success of previous programs that got not quite to the heart of the flexibility needed for arts organizations and their funds. The PCA took a lot of time building the Creative Sector Flex Fund. They did a lot of focus groups, surveys. They had conversations with arts organizations to see what would fit for a grant program. Through our partnership with the PCA, we were able to serve and push state grant dollars to Bucks County, Chester County, Delaware County, Montgomery, and Philadelphia counties. And while the importance of grant making does partially lie with funding, we see a greater opportunity to be connected with our organizations, to learn about their needs, and see how we can offer additional support beyond the check. So this image on the screen, which is not as sexy as creative youth development, is how we were able to maximize and push dollars out through our first round of Creative Entrepreneur Accelerator. So as you can see, broken out by county, we were able to grant over $170,000, 77% in Philadelphia County. We are a booming county, but 3.3% in Bucks and Montgomery, 13% in Delaware County, and 2% in Chester County. We have personal goals to expand our reach in the counties, but that was just our first year. So now that I've given you the background, what's in the works? What's on the horizon, right? I talked about Creative Sector Flex Fund. I talked a little bit about Creative Entrepreneur Accelerator. We are in the process of developing a grant-specific newsletter. What does this mean? It means that I will be curating a newsletter with opportunities at the state level, at the local level, also at the national level, so that you guys know all the opportunities out there right now. I'll be probably sharing some tips on how to make the most out of your grant applications, tips and tricks for grants writing, ways to prospect, and also just specific things that we're doing to try to give you access to programs and information that you need. So, in a nutshell, that is what our grant making arm is currently. Any questions for me? Where do we sign up for the newsletter? Thank you so much. Okay, so there's gonna be, thank you, Alice, really made my day. In our thank you letter, there will be a link to capture your email addresses for people who are interested. It is important that, you know, we make sure that we're providing something that you want. So that will be in the thank you letter. Also, the guidelines for creative entrepreneurs, the guidelines for the Creative Sector Flex Fund will be in that thank you letter. Our website will be up to date late February, early March with brand new timelines, applications, the whole shebang. But you know, before you put it out on the stage, you want to make sure that it's right. Lauren is like smiling because she knows that I'm gonna make it perfect before we launch it. So you'll be able to sign up for the grant newsletter and our thank you. Another question in the chat: will there be grants for individual / small artists too? The Creative Entrepreneurial Accelerator Grant can be applied for by individuals and micro businesses. So that can be a sole proprietor, it could be a small LLC. The grant guidelines are pretty broad in how you describe or define creative entrepreneur in your creative business. So that is a great grant for that. Without fully knowing the details, we do anticipate that there will be another grant being rolled out by DCED, and I know Roberta know acronyms. Department of Economic Development, which is a separate state agency, but more details will be coming soon, most likely in the newsletter. So I'm happy to answer any other questions that you guys had. Oh, yay, more questions. Okay. Oh, I lost the question. I'm trying to find it.
The question, oh, you want to do it, Lauren?
Go ahead, Roberta.
Okay, so the question says, hi, Caria. The Paoli Blues Fest is a large format community music and small business event held outdoors in Paoli,
Paoli, PA.
PA, yeah, we can't say words today. It's 3:52. Chester County, are there possibly other grants available for us?
Yes. Do I know them off the top of my head? No. But am I hoping to compile that information and share that with you guys regularly in our newsletter? Yes. Did that answer your question, Ken?
Ken, I will also look to Chester County Community Foundation. They might have some grants for you as well.
And also depending on your revenue size, I know it's really tricky because you start talking about eligibility. There are other state grants separate from the PPA partnership that also may be a good fit. And I hope to incorporate that kind of like, this is what the state has to offer. Here's some local options. Here's some national options. As I know, the goal is for you guys to get that communicated. Also follow our social channels because our social media manager has been really trying to push the grant opportunities that we see out in the world via social.
All right. Oh, the Chester County Community Foundation. And I can pull that up and share it in the chat while Roberta does a little bit of a review for us.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It is 3:54, so we are cutting it very close, so I won't take up too much of your time. I wanted to turn it over to you to see if you had any additional comments or questions about what was presented today. But as you can see on this particular slide, this is all of our contact information, including our president and CEO, Patricia Wilson Aden. But do you have any questions or concerns that have not been addressed? So Carol asks, you'll provide info about how to become a member. I used to get job bank mailings and not sure if I'm still a member. And she dropped her email in the chat. So Lauren will actually follow up with you.
To hop in really quickly, looking at this beautiful context slide that I did not update. Program Stream, for anybody who is on the call that was a previous Program Stream grantee or is used to hearing about Program Stream, is officially retired directly from the PCA. So entry to Program Stream and Program Stream are officially retired. This will be the last grant cycle. There will be no 2023, 2024 grant cycle. I just wanted to say that for the room.
All right. And then we'll be sharing a lot of stuff out in a thank you email. But I'll just share real quick. One other thing that was in the member benefit brochure is this be an active member checklist. It's just kind of a nice summary of different ways to be engaged with the Cultural Alliance and make the most out of your membership. So we do have time. I just going to wrap up and say, I hope that after today's program, you have a better understanding of what your benefits are and how you might utilize them. And I encourage you to take a look at this page and contact me or another member of our team if you have questions about accessing these benefits. So in our last 4 minutes, I'll stop sharing the screen and we can take any, we have time for any remaining questions. And
A question. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I can stay on the line past 4 if anybody doesn't get their question answered by then.
A question that was dropped earlier in the chat, but I wanted to say for Q&A is, what kind of policy changes has the Cultural Alliance spearheaded throughout their years of existence? Which is a great question.
Roberta, do you want to take that one?
I'm sorry, repeat that question again. I apologize. You're on mute, Maria.
Technology today. What kind of policy changes has the Cultural Alliance spearheaded throughout their years of existence?
Throughout their years of existence. So we've done a lot of policy changes as far as we actually were big components of getting the Office of, I'm going to say it all types of wrong, but Office of Creative Economy, right? Creative Economy, no, the Office of Arts and Creative Economy. There it is, OACCE. For the city back in 2008, that was one of our big pushes. We've also continued to have good relations with the city in influencing the budget for the Philadelphia Cultural Fund, which we continue to advocate, which right now it is up to $5.5 million, which is the largest it's ever been. We've always advocated for it to be at that level and have constantly pushed that agenda. We've also made dents and headways in the philanthropy space in terms of BIPOC and DEI and equity, in terms of giving, and some of them have actually changed their priorities as well as changed their practices when it comes to reporting. So we've done a lot in terms of influencing and changing policies. So I hope that answers some of your questions over the years that we have been in membership. Particularly this year, we consider it a win, and then we've been quoted a lot for our research and our advocacy efforts, especially with the reallocation of kind of relief funding from both the state as well as the city levels. And so you do see that increase in the Philadelphia Cultural Fund, but you also will see more money given to arts and cultural organizations in the city. Let me see. I'm bragging at this point, right? But essentially, we do a lot of hard work behind the scenes, pushing the agenda, pushing that our importance, our social impact, that we are the solution to a lot of Philadelphia's economic as well as social challenges. And any other questions? It's 4 o'clock, but any other questions?
I'm not seeing any. So again, I'll just say thank you all for coming. Thanks to all the program team for jumping on and describing the programs and services that they had. And if you do have any other questions, feel free to email me or any of us, and we would love to help you out. So thank you all again, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.